Number 10. Apollo 11.
11, 10, 9, ignition sequence starts.
It takes a true feat of filmmaking to transport audiences back in time. But that is exactly what director Todd Douglas Miller accomplishes in the documentary Apollo 11, a captivating exploration of the 1969 mission that put a man on the moon. Since this spaceflight happened 50 years ago, you wouldn't think there'd be much left to say. Through never-before-released footage that Miller's team recovered and gorgeously restored, however, this historic milestone is given a whole new perspective.
The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility, we copy you on the ground.
While it seems to be an early frontrunner for the Best Documentary Feature Oscar, Apollo 11 shouldn't be forgotten by the editing branch for condensing hundreds of hours of footage into a tight 93 minutes. See this one in IMAX for sure. Number 9. The Souvenir.
I've got nowhere left to go.
This British drama's understated approach may be an acquired taste for some. Once you peel back the film's various layers, though, you'll find an involving coming-of-age story that's sure to resonate with anyone who's been in an unhealthy relationship. Acting opposite her mother, Tilda Swinton, Honor Swinton-Byrne delivers a breakthrough performance as Julie.
I feel as though I want to not live my whole life in this very privileged part of the world I come from. I want to be really aware about what's going on around me.
A young film student, Julie becomes romantically linked to the mysterious Anthony, played by Tom Burke. Although Anthony appears charming, it soon becomes clear that he's an addict and a liar. It's Julie who's lying to herself, however, as she repeatedly makes excuses for Anthony's behavior. Writer-director Joanna Hogg's semi-autobiographical narrative isn't always easy to watch, but the film's insight into human nature is a meaningful souvenir in itself.
She looks sad.
I think she looks determined and very much in love.
Number 8. High Life. Robert Pattinson has certainly come a long way since Edward Cullen. In High Life, Pattinson turns in a multifaceted performance as Monty, a criminal living out his death sentence on a spaceship where prisoners find themselves at the mercy of Dr. Dibbs, played by a seductive Juliette Binoche. High Life encompasses the visual flair of a sci-fi blockbuster like Interstellar and the humanity of a sci-fi art house picture like Solaris. It's a psychological and erotic thriller set against the chilling backdrop of deep space.
There is nothing to fear. Everything's gonna be fine.
The film is also very much in the spirit of Stanley Kubrick, playing out like 2001: A Space Odyssey meets The Shining. Anchoring the ship is director/co-writer Claire Denis, who balances themes of isolation and redemption.
This mission can't turn our shame into some type of glory. I can't do this flying around no more.
Number 7. Shazam.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Wait, for real? Say, okay!
While not as grand in scale as Wonder Woman or Aquaman, Shazam delivers exactly what we've been wanting out of the DCEU, now officially cleansed of its needlessly gritty roots. The film is fun, colorful, and humorous, but it doesn't feel like a Marvel wannabe. If anything, the two superhero movies Shazam shares the most in common with are Richard Donner's original Superman and its 1980s sequel. Speaking of the 80s, Shazam takes a few cues from that decade's defining blockbusters like The Goonies, Gremlins, and particularly Big.
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
The film's success can largely be attributed to Zachary Levi, who convincingly portrays a boy trapped in a Superman's body, and Asher Angel, who paints an authentic portrait of a child coping with abandonment. Number 6. Rocketman.
I could hear the whole tune in my head. It was all there, I could see all the notes, and I just had to get it out.
From Bohemian Rhapsody to Rocketman, director Dexter Fletcher has played a hand in two of the most rousing musical biopics of the past decade. Rami Malek won a Best Actor Academy Award for his performance as Freddie Mercury, and we wouldn't be surprised if Taron Egerton finds himself in a similar position for his electrifying portrayal of Elton John. Egerton blasts off the silver screen as the charismatic English singer, taking the audience on a voyage down the yellow brick road.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Elton.
But that's my name.
Yeah, I know.
The film chronicles John's neglected childhood, rise to superstardom, and battle with substance abuse, all of which is set to a pitch-perfect selection of songs. The result is not only a stimulating jukebox musical, but also a fascinating look behind the heart-shaped glasses. Number 5. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
I don't see a way of staying here any longer.
2019 is sure to go down as a landmark year for animated sequels. The Lego Movie 2 was a gleeful follow-up to its 2014 predecessor, and The Hidden World concluded the How to Train Your Dragon series on an appropriately bittersweet note. The story of Hiccup and Toothless is perhaps the closest an animated franchise has come to replicating the magic of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. Each chapter raised the stakes, expanding upon the lore, and took the action to new heights. Most importantly, the series never stopped evolving its characters.
It really does exist.
Hiccup is one of the few animated protagonists we got to see grow from adolescence to manhood over the course of multiple films and shows, culminating in a satisfying send-off.
What are you gonna do about it?
Probably something stupid.
Number 4. Booksmart.
What took them 4 years, we're doing it 1 night!
The funniest movie of the year so far also just might be the wisest. Olivia Wilde's foray into filmmaking is carried by the wonderful dynamic between stars Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever. The two actresses reportedly made an instant connection upon meeting, deciding to move in with each other shortly after. Their genuine bond translates beautifully to the screen in this honest and hilarious high school comedy.
No. Not acceptable.
This is not okay.
Who allowed you to be this beautiful?
Like American Graffiti and Superbad, the story takes place roughly over the course of a day as the characters try to make up for lost time and come to grips with the future. Billy Lord, Skylar Gisondo, and Jason Sudeikis round out an uproarious supporting cast, continually delivering laughs while our leads give the film a beating heart.
Ask the questions! Tonight is your night.
Number 3. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Tell me what you want.
Passage.
We've seen John Wick overcome impossible odds before, but Parabellum pits an entire world of assassins against him. Around every corner, somebody is either throwing punches, shooting bullets, or chucking knives at Mr. Wick. Although John remains a force to be reckoned with, this third chapter pushes him to his limits like never before. It's a good thing he receives a little backup from Halle Berry, and of course, a couple of canine companions.
Nice suit.
Good to see you too.
Director Chad Stahelski ups the high-octane action while keeping it grounded, and also delves deeper into the mysterious world of assassins. Keanu Reeves has never been better, in a role that will forever be remembered for kickstarting the Keanu-sance.
We're not going in like the old days.
Number 2. Us.
We made it!
Just as he did in Get Out, Jordan Peele blends elements of horror and humor in Us, although his follow-up film leans more heavily on the horror side. Nevertheless, Us is every bit as unique as Peele's directorial debut, once again proving that he is a visionary whose voice cannot be replicated. Like a classic Twilight Zone episode, the film takes a fantastical premise and brings it into the real world with biting social commentary.
There's a family in our driveway.
Each actor turns in a stellar dual performance, although the MVP is easily Lupita Nyong'o, who blurs the lines between empathetic and pure evil. Fittingly enough, this is one of those movies that you need to watch at least twice to fully appreciate its rich themes, clever symbolism, and killer twists. So, I never saw Us because I had to voice our top 10 things you missed in Us before the movie was even released, and I ruined the ending, and then I just never saw it because I had ruined the ending. So, do you think it's still worth it for me to see it? I feel like yes, right? Anyway, number 1 is probably pretty obvious, and I don't think it's going to be unseated as best movie of the year anytime soon, but maybe we went rogue and did something weird. Anyway, stay tuned until after these honorable mentions to see what we did.
I don't understand why she didn't tell me.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she didn't like you.
One day I will swallow up the world.
Because life just goes by in a flash. Like that.
I know. You tell me the same thing every 10 years.
What are your names again?
My name.
It doesn't matter what your names are. You walk around here interrupting the rock you like you haven't seen the sun in 20 years?
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1. Avengers Endgame.
God, seems like 1,000 years ago.
Between Captain Marvel and especially Avengers Endgame, 2019 has proven that there is no such thing as Marvel fatigue. After 21 movies and 11 years, Endgame delivered everything we could have hoped for. And we mean everything. Every character is given their due. Every risk the filmmakers take pays off, and every storyline the Infinity Saga has set up miraculously comes together. It's a movie that'll have you crying at least once, cheering at least twice, and rewatching over and over again.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
We'd say the MCU is never going to top this cinematic achievement, but then again, many of us thought the same about the original Avengers. In any case, a new standard has been set for superhero crossovers and modern Hollywood epics.
This is gonna work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't.
Well, that number one seems inevitable. You see what I did there? Anyway, I can't wait to see what other great Keanu Reeves movies we get this year. Let us know in the comments what great movies you've seen in 2019 so far. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out this other video, just cuz.